Various tools are used to identify potential issues and strengths in neighbourhoods in terms of walkability and health. The suburb of Latham was chosen to be assessed using the Neighbourhood Walkability Checklist developed by the Heart Foundation. The checklist focuses on four main aspects of walkability: walker friendliness, comfort, safety, convenience, and connectedness. A further two separate questions were used to assess food access and socialisation. The walk commenced at midday and was 1.4 kilometres to the local amenities one way. Walker friendliness. The route to the local shops scored reasonably on walker friendliness, with footpaths free from obstructions, including overgrown vegetation and sign poles, and plenty of trees to provide shade for other walkers. Along this route there is one park, promoting physical activity for younger walkers. The existence of parks in suburbs have been proven to promote physical activity, therefore increasing health and well-being for those participating. Importance of parks has further been supported by previous studies which discovered that living further than 1 kilometre away from a park results in less use of walking paths in that area. However, the park was not well maintained and dirty, acting as a possible deterrent for potential users. The route's environment was not interesting or attractive. It is important when trying to promote physical activity that the available landscape be attractive, as this has been proven in a 2019 study to result in more use of the walking paths by novice runners. And here is some photos of the park, the walking path near the park, and an example of promoting green space. Comfort. The second aspect assessed was comfort. The design of streets and walking routes impact heavily on whether one chooses to walk. The route scored incredibly low on this section, with no available toilets, inconsistent paths, many with large cracks and uneven surfaces which could result in injury to a walker. No areas to stop and rest, and no access to drinking water along the way. Lack of water fountains has been found to be detrimental for health when walking on hot days, resulting in dehydration, heat stroke and fatigue. Further, lack of toilets and seating can deter the elderly and disabled from walking, detrimental for health and well-being. Also noteworthy was the width of the paths. The paths were very skinny, only really allowing one person at a time to walk comfortably. This may result in those with prams or wheelchairs to avoid using the paths, and larger groups of walkers considering using this route, impacting the possible health benefits they could be getting from physical activity. Positively, however, there were plenty of trees which can provide shelter from the heat and sun and provide environmental benefits. Trees in urban areas are also proven to help reduce the urban heat island effect, which is a result of close-knit buildings and structures commonly seen in major cities. Trees have been shown to decrease surface air temperatures along with surfaces on roads and buildings. Safety. Safety scored reasonably for this route. In main areas surrounding schools and the local shops, there were several zebra crossings available, allowing for pedestrians to cross safely. Also noted was the presence of 2 speed humps along the main street to the shops and near to the local primary school, slowing vehicles down to make it safer for young children and other pedestrians. However, the paths were poorly lit at night, which has been proven to cause possible walkers to use alternate transport like cars or bus instead. This results in these potential walkers losing to the health benefits of partaking in physical activity, and furthers environmental damage caused by more cars on the road. Further, perceived crime and traffic safety has been found to be a strong predictor of physical activities in adults, emphasising the importance of safety measures like speed humps, traffic lights, crossings and adequate lighting along footpaths. Convenience and connectedness. Having direct routes and proximity to homes, shops and the workplace significantly increases the chance of partaking in physical activity and connecting in the area. This is the reasoning for Section 4, assessing convenience and connectedness. Latham scored well in this area, with pedestrian signage available for direction to the nearest shops and several bus stops along the way. This route connected easily to the local primary school in Kippax Centre, which contains cafes, library, sporting facilities and supermarkets. Dead ends observed mostly had tracks through them for pedestrians to use, further strengthening connection to local amenities. Food and socialisation. The local shops contain multitudes of fresh and fast foods to choose from. For reasonable prices and reasonable qualities, there is a vast array of fast food available, including Kingsley's and McDonald's and various cafes, as well as access to supermarkets containing fresh foods like Aldi and Woolworths. There are several places for people to meet and socialise at the local shops in this area, including the Club Lime Gym, the Raiders Club, tennis courts, many cafes, a library, and many green space and open space ovals. Suggestions for improvement. While the Latham walking path scored reasonably on walkability, there is much room for improvement. Suggestions to improve walkability in this area would be to improve playground maintenance, with cleaning and possibly replacement and repainting of equipment to make the playground more inviting to use. Further, including more seating and drinking facilities would be incredibly beneficial for hot days and for encouraging the elderly or disabled to use the paths. Also, making the paths more consistent with no break-in paths along streets would encourage more walkers and also increase safety for pedestrians along busy roads. Increasing the availability of street lighting at night would significantly increase walkers' feelings of comfort and safety, therefore increasing the chances of people to use the paths. Lastly, making the environment more attractive would be beneficial in encouraging others to walk, with repainted playgrounds and better path and fence maintenance in the area needed. References.